I'm going to be super real with you in this video. This video is if you are wanting the alpha, if you truly want to learn and better yourself. This is not for those betas that just want to cry, where are the signals, where are the answers, tell us what's going to happen. Now, if you want to know the reasons why, how I look at the market, crucial information that is not just going to be handing you on a plate, oh, this is where you want to look to long. No, I'm going to be giving you the whole insights behind how we get analysis, how we find setups, how we make the profits. I want to teach you how to fish. I don't want to come into this video and hand you a bit of a setup on a plate and say, here you go. No, I want you to work for it. I want you to learn from the information I'm giving you. Because if you listen to this video, if you truly learn from what I'm teaching, you will get your daily bread. You will learn to fish for yourself and not just be waiting for anybody else to post their analysis, because you're going to be the alpha. You're going to be out there crushing the charts because you're going to be learning from the best. Big words to start, but I'm going to back it up with the pinpoint analysis as we're going to come over to these charts. And well, I'm going to blow your minds. I'm going to blow your minds by starting off with some really epic analysis, talking you through this chart, why we're getting the drop, what's going on. I'm going to do that in a few minutes as quickly as possible because this price action is interesting, of course. Starting off really quickly with why have we topped out around $122,000? It is based off of the Elliott wave count. Elliott wave count, very important. You can watch that via the latest members live stream. But really simply, this post was up over the 24 hours ago now. Put it out on X, so you could definitely have been aware and been prepared for this drop. Okay, and that was, we hit into a Fibonacci confluence from the Elliott wave count around $122,000. Right? A retracement from this level makes complete sense for an internal wave 4. There's not going to be any panic from us when this drop comes, only plans. And what are we getting 24 hours later? We are getting this drop to the downside from $122,000 confluence. So we come up into this Fibonacci confluence, we get a pullback. Again, for me, this is all internal wave 4 retracement, so it's not really bearish in that regards. Now I want to show you, okay, I want to zoom in on this price action. I just want to show you this is how we make our daily bread. Okay, what I mean by daily bread is just our daily profits. Like we come in, we analyze the market, you know, regardless of, yeah, there's been a massive pump or yeah, there's been a massive dump. We are disregarding that information in a way. Of course, we're using it to make a trading plan, but we're not, you know, we're not sad about missing a pump, or we're not fearful about missing the start of a drop. No, we're just coming in, analyzing, forgetting everything else, and what have we got in front of us? What trade setup do we have today? And really simply, that's what I'm going to be going through now. And it is all based off of this mini range. And this is where you make your profits. Recognizing, how many times have I told you this? Recognize the ranges before they are formed. And today it was just an epic example of this. So this morning I done a live stream for the members. We had this much of the price action. So we had this low put in, we had this high put in. I know a lot of people would have longed off of this low here. Why? Because it was a pretty major liquidity grab, right? You had all of these lows. So you have these whole series, if it lets me put out my paint tool here, you had all these series of lows here that were taken out on this drop, right? So you had a lot of lows that were taken out. So naturally, people are going to think, oh, this is a really nice swing failure pattern. I'm going to take my long trade now. I actually went into the Champions daily live stream this morning. And I said, well, yeah, there has been an acceptable long trade setup for some people. But for me, I do not like the order flow. I am not longing that swing failure pattern. I'm going to wait for another low to be made. So this is what I was talking them through. We want to see another low made from this low that we put in. Well, this low here at 5 a.m. Okay, it's not an ideal time for the low either, right? So it was based off of the order flow. What did we see there? We saw a lot of new longs opening. So, you know, listen carefully here because I'm sharing with how I foresaw this market. Saw that low put in, and then look at this, 11 million new longs, 2.3 million new longs, and here another 11 million new longs. So we put in that low, and I just saw a massive amount of longs opening. And for me, that was a red flag. So what I said is I want to see another low put in here, form a little bit of a swing failure pattern of the mini range, and there I will take a long. I'll look to take it up first and foremost to what I was looking at as the mini range high around $118,000. So I'm planned, reading the order flow, and then in the live stream itself, trading the plan. I took the long trade during the live stream, live in the time, as we got that swing failure pattern. Okay, so at that point, I've got a really nice trading plan. I know the reason why I'm taking the long. I was, well, literally planned during that stream. 5 minutes later, during the stream, we got the entry. So plan the trade the plan in the long. Let's bring it up to around $118,000, where I was then looking for the short. We were in the long from the swing failure pattern of the low. We're not getting carried away. We're not looking for all-time highs. We're looking up first and foremost to we had wonderful confluence, by the way, here locally. Around $118,000 point of control, mini range high. This is where we are analyzing locally for a short trade setup. Okay, so you can see it's all stemming from these mini ranges, swing failure patterns, and then what we got in the end was a failed auction of the range high. So look at this, moving along, moving along, moving along. That's the swing failure pattern of the low. That was the long trade. And I want you to just think about this for a minute, of course. Here, deep retracement, but of course not invalidated. Here, now I'm going to be explaining what's going on. But look at this. We moved up to the high and we're chopping around at the high for around 2 hours here, right? This, you could say this is pretty difficult short to take, right? You have the plan, which is move up here, come back down. But it's not easy, right? You could have shorted here and then you got stopped out. You could have shorted here. Maybe you got stopped out here. You know, there's a lot of chop going on and around the highs. And this, my friends, is the massive advantage of the Champions Group, I'm telling you. So I come in here, waiting for my entry. I know the plan. I want to short around here, but it was this. Look at the timestamp. Please just look at the timestamp. Go and look at it yourself right now. This is at 27 minutes past 3 UK time. I confirmed to my team at this exact moment now is when I'm taking the short from the failed auction. Wasn't here. You know, there's no post deleted, of course. This is just all the posts during the day. That is when I decided to take my short trade. From the long, I locked in my take profit at $118,000 as we were breaking up here. But I did not take the short until 27 minutes past 3. I will show you, because I know some of you are so lazy that you don't even want to go and do this. So, you know, here, 27 minutes past 3. So just as we were coming in here, you can see this is the exact candle. This is the exact candle where I confirmed a failed auction. And then from here, look at that. As soon as we confirmed a failed auction, it has just been down and down and down and down and more down. Okay, so it was a very nice call of the short trade from that failed auction right as it was happening. 2 hours after the chop of the top of the range, confirm the short, then price starts to drop, of course. No financial advice. But yeah, we timed to the exact low of the long. Then we got in the short from the exact high. And, well, then what happened next? It would be go and take these lows. So listen carefully again, because this was another extremely good bit of alpha that I shared this morning. I told my team while we were around the middle of the channel, let's go take these lows. Well, I need to give should we post the update right now? Here we go. Look at this. This is what I'll do. We'll take the print screen and we'll just say, how about that? How about that, my friends? How about that? Bitcoin really listening to me this morning. Oh, well, it's not this morning. This afternoon. We'll just say this afternoon, right? Bam. Well, there we go. We wanted to see it go and take those lows. Here we are, absolutely taking those lows. Of course, not in a long trade. Yeah, I've not taken a long trade here. Staying in my short from failed auction. Failed auction of range high. Okay, so still in my short, which I took here, right? So still in that short trade from the failed auction. So, you know, this is the advantage of being in the group. You get these updates live in the time as it's happening. You don't have to wait around for a YouTube video, for a tweet, for anything, right? You got the alpha right here in the moment. So, yeah, that's what we were waiting for. And now I wanted to explain, why was I waiting for those lows to be taken? Oh, this was really, really nice. So this morning we zoomed back and I noticed that we did not take those lows on Coinbase. So it doesn't mean we need to go down and instantly take them, but it's something to be aware of. So where we formed this swing failure pattern here on Bybit, which I took the long during the live stream, what I did notice on Binance and Coinbase, we ever so slightly front run the low. So we ever so slightly front run the low here. So this was like a magnet that I felt was going to pull down price action to take all this lower liquidity. That's why I was telling my team, you know, something to be aware of. It does open up the opportunity for another low from the low that we put in, 20 minutes ago during the live stream. That's where I'm saying to my team, now would be great to go down and clear those lows that I've been talking about. And, that is exactly what we're doing right now. We've cleared out those lows. So, I said at the start of this stream, this isn't a stream for the signals. This is a stream so you can understand how in 1 day of price action, 1 day of trading, we longed the absolute low of the move. We then went on to short the absolute high of the move. We read the order flow, knowing how to not long early, but to wait for that fake out first. So we got order flow reading with the early longs, understanding let's stop them out. Then on top of that, you got the plans for the long based off of the order flow. Then you got the plan for the short, which was confirmed as taken before any drop. And then you got the understanding of that liquidity to go and clear the lows, which is what we've been working on now. You can see each step of the way. And I know lots of people like to say, oh, trading is so difficult. I don't know what I'm doing. This is so confusing. Get tuned in, get locked into the champions, right? I'm here every single day of the week. I've been doing this for over a decade. I know what I'm doing. I'm very good at what I do. I really, really, really mean it. If you are just stop searching for signals, if you stop searching for the easy rides, but you put in the work, you put in the effort, I truly, truly, truly mean this. I am here for those that want to learn. I got no time for the people that just come in and say, "Oh, what's the signals today?" I'm not interested in it, right? And trust me, it's not. I know that I could open a signal group tomorrow and make $10 million in a day from people paying for my signals. I'm not interested. I don't want it, right? I want to educate you. I want to help you learn. I want to teach you how to fish. So you're not waiting on signals. You know what you're doing. This is my passion, is of teaching and helping you in this way. And I know that it's possible. I know that, I just know that this is the path that you need to go down. And I'm here for you. I'm here to help you every single day, through the ups of the markets, through the downs of the market. Have you ever seen me miss a day? Here, in the Discord? No, the answer is you haven't. You haven't seen me miss a single day. I made a video the other day saying about the journey. This is the whole, everything, all of this price action from the very beginning of this chart here on Bybit, from the very beginning of this chart here on Bybit, right? From the very, very, very first candle, I was making videos. I was here. From the very first candle on this chart to the candle that we're putting in today, I have not missed a single day of any of that price action. Not a single day has been missed of any of that price action. And I think that is, well, for me, it's something to be incredibly proud of. And for you, it just goes to show that through the ups, through the downs, through the sideways, through the ins, through the outs, I am here for you. And that's why I wanted to do, bring your eyes to these videos, like the power of trading, what you can achieve here. So, now I will give you a little bit of, okay, so what are we looking at next? I know you will want to know, you will want to know it, right? So, really simply what we got, well, this mini range, can we form a failed auction of the low? Yes, absolutely. I'm ready and waiting for this. Just as we formed a failed auction of the high, we absolutely can form a failed auction of this low. If and when I take that long, guess who will know first? The champion members. But if we do not form the failed auction of the low here, well, then we can be looking back down towards next around $115,000, right? So that's something for me would be next level towards the downside. And if I've been saying this in the stream this morning, if this level fails, well, then we are very, very, very bearish, right? You're going to be looking for some major drop to the downside. So the bullish case, we formed a failed auction. We basically, the bullish case is we hold up above $114,000. We do not come down to any bigger retracement than that. I think if we do get the bigger retracements, you're in for a bit of a hard time, a bit of a bearish time. As long as this can hold up, you can absolutely still look for the continuation to the upside, right? So if we are to put in this as our wave 3, and we're working on this wave 4 currently, that of course means there's another wave to come to the upside. And so for me, crucial level of support to hold up, $114,000. We cannot lose this support. If this support is lost, I think it's very, very bearish. Okay, but there's no reason to be very bearish right now, right? So we are down at a very important support zone. So if this support holds, yes, we can go on and target new all-time highs. Perfect, wonderful, happy for that. Internally, I think we got a few key levels to be aware of. Well, the first one is what we cleared out this morning, $118,000. So if we do get the strength for another retest, of course, would be expected to break on the next time. And then internally, we got this resistance lining up around a value area high here, $119,000.8. So, those would be my levels where I'm looking out for next. Okay, we got the local range. We haven't formed a failed auction yet. We're just getting a retest. If we do confirm the failed auction, then we don't need to look down for lower. Okay, so pretty simple. But right now, we can still be aware, or I would say the next untapped levels then, down and around to $114,000. Okay, so for the lows. And then I would be aware of the confluence of resistance that we have there and around $119.5 to $120,000. Okay, it is not just a random value area high. We're going to be moving into the daily open, previous day value area low. Of course, at this zone, I would always say it is a zone. You have the downtrend anchored VWAP. Okay, well, that's now obviously moved down very quickly over the past few hours. This morning it lined up a lot better. But, you know, the downtrend anchored VWAP, the whole range now. Let's see where this range point of control. Okay, the range value area high. So this is what I was looking at, the range value area high and this downtrend value area high all in around that zone. So, you know, you have like 3 levels of confluence there. So it's you know, I would class that as pretty decent confluence. You are probably going to have a daily level actually forming here as well, 119.9. So like this is what I class as a pretty stacked resistance. So yeah, for me next, I'd say support down to around $114,000, which is crucial. If it doesn't hold, I think it's very bearish. And, you know, if it does hold, amazing. We can look up for 120k zone, which is, you know, key resistance. And, you know, the last thing that I will say, oh my God, I just realized I've been on full screen the whole time. Wow, that is absolutely annoying. Oh man. Oh wow. I hope you were telepathically like reading the charts through my eyes there somehow. Hopefully there was some, I extremely apologize for that. I need to, wow. I'll recap, rewind. Oops. Oh man, that's highly frustrating. I know it's highly frustrating for all the viewers. So let's do a recap by doing this, right? Here's the recaps. We were looking for support around $114,000. We were looking at the daily here around $120,000. Recap. We were looking at this confluence around $119,000. We had the anchored VWAP moving its way down. Oh, wow, yes, that is highly embarrassing. I am extremely sorry that I've just done that. So, yeah, there is my summary. Oops. Important support. I'm very sorry. Important support around this $114,000 zone. Yeah, I massively apologize. I really am sorry for that. Important support, of course, from the daily naked point of control to $114,000. So this is where I class crucial support. If lost, I think it's a lot more bearish. We then have that really high confluence around $120,000 just below, to be honest, of resistance. So, you know, that's what I'd be looking for my local next trades. This for me right now is as it stands, not a failed auction of the low. Okay, so this at the moment is more of a retest. So we need to see the strength back above here to get a failed auction long trade set up. So, you know, that can happen over the next half an hour or so. So it's something to keep your eye on. You know, and if that failed auction plays out, amazing, we can look for the rise. If it does not play out, then yeah, then we can look down towards that $114,000. And if it does play out and we get the strength back above our high, yeah, key level for me is 120,000. Of course, if reclaimed, then we can move up towards new all-time highs. First thoughts here is this is starting to maybe be a zigzag. Okay, so of course we were looking at a bigger impulsive move to the upside here. So if we put in a wave 3 here, and if this is our first, you know, let me just really quickly see. So the wave 3 here is longer than the wave 1. Very, very nice. Oh my God, look at this. This is why I love Elliott waves. You see, this is almost to the $1618. What's your standard extension for a 1618? What is your standard extension for a wave 3? It's a 1618. I mean, this is very clear. Move down, retracement, and what we're working on now, another move to the downside. So there's clearly some form of fifth wave in here. Maybe even had a bit of a triangle in the wave 4 there, right? So anyway, I digress. And so this is 5 waves down. Well, that actually opens up the door for a bit of a zigzag. So what that means is, again, we might not have finished the low here. It's very dependent on the very dependent on if we formed a failed auction. If we don't, then it's much more bearish, to be honest. But it does open the door for this zigzag 3 and then another 5, right? So just something to be aware of. That is not the most important thing in the world. I would focus first and foremost on the local mini range, because that's what's been giving us all of the trades today. Of course, the long that I took this morning, I'm out of. That long hit take profit 1, and I closed the rest of it when I saw the weakness and thought we were going to take the lows. Like, what's the point in holding onto the long? So I'm out of that long, but I'm still in the short, of course. Well, as I wrote to the members, still in my, of course, not in a long trade yet, and staying in my short from the failed auction at a range high. So, no confusion there. That's exactly what I'm looking at. That's the exact reasons why. I apologize greatly that you had to look at my face. It would have been nice. Maybe I need to put a mirror. Maybe I need to put a little big mirror here, so when I forget, you can look in the mirror and look at that. That would be maybe an idea. But yeah, I apologize. That's not a mistake I like to make. But yeah, I suppose I just want to end by taking a minute, and I apologize. I know some people hate it. They're like, "Oh my God, these videos are so long." And I apologize greatly. I am very respectful of your time, as mine. If I talk, I believe it's for helping. And so I just want to spend 1 minute to say this, signing off. I truly, truly, truly mean this. And I hope that you can tell my passion is like genuine. Like, I genuinely really do want to help. Like, I'm not out here, I've been saying bad things about altcoins. And this is not because I want to be a hater of altcoins. And I genuinely feel that this information is helpful. I've been talking about, higher term time frame versus lower term time frame. It's not always, I'm not talking about I know a lot of people struggle with it. I put a lot of emphasis on this. Like, I when I talk, and again, I do not try and say I'm the best at teaching, right? I've got a lot to learn. I've still got a lot to improve on. So it's something that I love, my own personal journey as being a mentor. But what I do have is that passion and genuine interest in wanting you to succeed. Like, I genuinely do want you to do well. And so, I just want to say that, like, you can trust in me. You can truly trust in me that I am here for you. I am here to, help you learn trading. Like, that is my goal, and have a genuine interest in doing that. And so I think in a space which, look for yourself, in a space which is just so full of scammers, a very dangerous space. Everybody wants to scam. Everybody wants to try and hack you. Everyone really wants to try and take advantage of you. One thing that, as someone that's lived through this, some of the biggest dangers and scams that I had in my own life were from people I classed as my closest friends. And so as someone that's been so hurt and backstabbed by people I would really class as a very good friend, is like, well, I don't want that to be me. I do not want people to view me. I don't want to put myself in a position where I could even be viewed as that. And that is why, well, I bring it back to the chart. That is truly why, when you look at this chart, this very chart of Bitcoin, all the way back down here, every day I've been here, every day I've been helping, every day I've been providing. That is me. That's what I do. That's what I love. And if that wasn't the case, then I think that maybe I would have taken some days off by now. But no, I'm here. I love it. I hope you've enjoyed. I thank you ever so much. And I apologize once again for having you look at my face instead of the charts. I need to remind myself, switch the screen. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed. Thank you ever so much. If you want more of me, you know where to get it. chartchampions.com. Thank you. Cheers. And that's me signing out. Goodbye.